Thank you so much for tuning in to Awakening with Katina Love. We are a conscious channel to learn about self empowerment, the law of attraction, creating financial abundance, metaphysics, and natural health. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Awakening with Katina Love. We have a returning guest today, Tony Doyle, Mind Valley Transformational Mindset Coach. Welcome back, Tony. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Katina?
Awesome. Today, we're going to talk about manifesting, one of my favorite subjects again.
Yes, mine as well.
So, becoming a master manifester. That's
Mm,
something I am definitely setting out to do myself.
yes.
So, I just wanted to talk to you about that. How, what is manifesting, first of all? What is manifesting? And how do we get to that place of being a deliberate manifester?
Right. Very good. So, obviously, as most of your listeners will know, because they are your listeners,
Hmm.
obviously, we manifest 24 hours a day, every day, using the law of attraction.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in our 3D world, the law of attraction makes sure that happen. Now, we can deliberately manifest by taking the steps needed to manifest those things and raising our own vibration towards the things that we wish to have in our life, or um, basically by the vibration itself, the way we portray ourselves, the things we do, the thoughts we think, the feelings we have.
Hmm.
Like attracts like, law of attraction. So in the 3D world, we are manifesting at all times.
Yeah, absolutely. We are. So, what are some major things that you've manifested? Like, and well, let me back up a minute. How did you get to that place where you could just become a more deliberate manifester? And when
Okay.
was that?
Yeah. So actually, really good question because, in my opinion, law of attraction and the universal laws is are I think we may have discussed in a previous podcast. They're very much to do with the 3D earthly realm.
Hmm.
So the third dimension, as it were. Okay. Um, and because of that, we can use it, but it's not the best way to manifest. Honestly, it
Okay.
is it is a way to manifest, and
Hmm.
depending on your own mindset, because once again, you have to get out of your own way. It's all about allowing. Once you set that manifestation in motion, you have to also be on the receiving frequency of it. The problem
Hmm.
is in 3D using the law of attraction, those are two different frequencies, and oftentimes we block our own manifestations by our own negative thoughts, self doubts, etc.
Mm.
So, actually, I started out, obviously, we talked before. I had a spiritual awakening about 6 years ago.
Hmm.
Um, I was blessed. I don't know if I drew him into my experience or
Hmm.
vice versa, but I was blessed to be able to work with the late Dr. Wayne Dyer.
Hmm.
And he actually helped me through all this process because before that time, although I was very spiritual, I really had no concept of the differentiation between 3D, 4D, 5D, any of the dimensions, the different realms, as they would say.
Hmm.
Um, but he actually helped me through that. It was through him that I also met Louise Hay and a lot of other um, really transformational people in my own life. Joe Dispenza being one of those.
That's awesome.
Brian Weiss, Matt Kahn, so many people, Greg Braden.
Hmm.
Um, so there's that whole Hay House end. Obviously, I do work with Mind Valley as well, and Vishen is huge on spirituality, mind hacks, mindfulness,
Hmm.
consciousness. He built his entire business at Mind Valley, and his coaching wing, which is called EverCoach, is all based on those principles. So,
Love it. I love him. He's
so
awesome.
I got a lot of that naturally.
Hmm.
Um, but really, it was until I learned and started working on the process of 4D to 5D, that
Mm-hmm.
I learned some of these master manifestation techniques that really build off of the law of attraction. But once you have to almost be able to control your ego to use them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and just like the law of attraction, is if we can't get out of our own way, we can't get the manifestation, or at least it slows it down a lot. Um, Same thing with this. So I have a formula for
Mm-hmm.
manifestation, and I've got a technique that is a fail-proof technique. So
Wow.
that's once I discovered that. Um, yeah, like literally, I know for a fact there's nothing I can't personally manifest into my life, and I prove it every day. You know what I mean, to myself.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. This is like one of my favorite subjects, manifesting. Manifesting.
Yes, mine too. I have to admit.
It's so fun to manifest, isn't it?
Yes.
And when to know that you can design your life how you want it to be,
Yes. Absolutely.
and to tailor, so to speak, how other people interact with you.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah.
it's all your vibration, your expectation. If you're going to go meet with somebody or go visit them or hang out with them, you can literally project or intend how it's going to go. And based upon that, you create how that experience is going to be, whether it's positive or
Absolutely.
negative.
Absolutely so. And that's the thing. Like when self doubt creeps in, you're manifesting that into whatever that is you just thought about.
Yeah.
You know what
Or
I mean?
fear,
So
you're fearful, or you're afraid of this or afraid of that. And
yep. Yep.
we're all
Exactly.
feeding off each other's energy. And so if we're fearful, if we're in a negative space, other people are going to pick up on it. Or if you're thinking a certain way, then they're going to pick up on it, reflect it back to you. But if you're high vibing and
Yes.
fun and you're energetic, then that's what you're going to get.
Absolutely. Absolutely true. So the key, you said the two key words in my opinion. The
Uh-huh.
first is intention. You
Yes.
have to intend it, and then is expectation. You have to expect it.
Yes.
So those two things to me are literally the key to manifesting.
Intention.
Once you can get out of your own way, and that's the thing with expectation. Expectation is a knowing. It's not a hoping, it's not a
Yeah.
wishing, it's not a wanting.
Mm-hmm.
You expect it. You know it's about to happen. So you have to figure out what it is you want,
Mm-hmm.
then you intend it to happen,
Mm-hmm.
then you expect it to happen, and then you get out of the way,
And get
and
out
it
of the
will
way.
happen. It
So how
happens
do we
every
get out of our way? We just chill out, or what do we do?
Well, that it depends where you're at. That's different for every single person because only you can figure out how you're getting in your own way.
Uh-huh.
So, and that's what I meant about the difference between 3D, 4D, 5D. We're all in a different point, okay? Not that there's any higher or lower realms. We're all just in a different point of our own perception.
Mm-hmm. So true.
So for some people, you can, like myself, literally, I use appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
From the moment I wake up, I'm appreciating it. I never let my vibration, like I've been tested, my vibration doesn't go under about 430 or so. So you can actually test your physical vibration to see where you're at. It's similar to a sleep test.
Mm-hmm.
They show the vibration that you're putting out.
Mm-hmm.
500 is love.
500
Okay.
is love. So is that the top, right? Isn't that the highest vibration, love?
It's
Or joy?
close to the highest. Like on Abraham's vibrational scale, it's in that highest group. So
Mm-hmm.
they consider love, enlightenment, all that. Enlightenment is technically the highest one that's on the actual power versus force scale.
Mm-hmm.
So enlightenment is the highest. That's 600. Love is 500, and
Wow.
there's joy, which is just above love. So there's between 5 and 600 is everything good. You know what I mean? I mean everything is wonderful.
You can't go wrong. Just raise
Can't
that
go
vibe
wrong.
up.
Can't go wrong. So that's the thing, and that's why everyone is correct. I don't know if you um, read Rhonda Byrne's latest or
I haven't.
latest book. It's all about the power of love and that love
Oh
vibration.
my
So
God.
literally, as long as you're putting out that 500 or higher, you cannot go wrong. The problem
Wow.
is we have things that in this 3D world that drag us down. So it's about those tips and tricks to get over that.
Yes.
And we're all triggered by different things, and that's what I mean. Like, there's not a one size fits all for how to get over those things, except for the fact that, like I said, in if you can keep your vibration high,
Mhm.
you're already there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is find something, and it just comes natural now. It's not like I have to search, but
Mhm.
before I was intentional on it. I was like, I hear that bird. You hear that? Oh, I love that. I love waking up to birds
Right.
singing. You know what I mean? Oh, look
Yeah.
at the sky. It's gonna be a great day. It's whatever. I
Yeah.
would find five or six things before I even meditated. My vibration was already high.
Yes.
You know. I also am a member of the 5 a.m. club, which my business coach Robin Sharma wrote the book on 5 a.m. So between 5 and 8, you do meditation, you do personal study, you
Mhm.
do a little bit of exercise to get the endorphins going.
Mhm.
Like, there's all these tips and tricks to get you at a high vibration early in the morning, because the way your morning starts is the way your day goes.
Absolutely. Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
So,
So
so let's go into things that you have manifested that you deliberately wanted. Like, have you deliberately manifested that were major to you?
well, everything.
Right?
So, I mean, if you start all the way back to Dr. Dyer, I believe I was manifesting in a 3D way using law of attraction at that point, even, because once again, we're manifesting at all times, whether we
Yeah.
know it or not. So I may not have been deliberately manifesting that, but my soul was, you know what I mean? It
Mhm.
knew the next step, it knew the path. Um, but deliberately creating to make that differentiation. um, Literally every single one of my business relationships since then.
Mhm.
Um, and really, I can back up even further than that, because before I even knew what it was called, I deliberately created all of my other businesses too.
That's
I
awesome.
mean, I've lived a whole lot of lives in my life. I was on tour for 2.5 years as a hip hop artist. I've
Mhm.
run $2.5 million restaurant chains.
Awesome.
Um, I've I was a radio DJ and a program director for a radio station, actually for three different radio stations.
Mhm.
I've lived so many different lives, and literally it's just a matter of that would be fun, and like, how do I
Right?
do it? And I just manifest myself into those situations.
That's beautiful.
Um, but like I said, deliberately, from the point where I've known what I was doing. Absolutely, my TEDx, all my TEDx stuff.
Mhm.
I was interested in TEDx, and I just put it on my vision board. I'm
That's
like, I'm
what's
going to be a
up.
TEDx speaker.
That is what's
I'm
up.
gonna, and now I'm a 3-time TEDx speaker.
That's great.
Um, Same thing with Mind Valley. So I took a course, and after
Yeah.
the first course, I was sold on Mind Valley, and I'm like, I'm gonna work for Mind Valley one day.
That's
And
right.
a year later, I was offered an assistantship, and then I was offered a facilitator role, and now I'm a
Wow.
master facilitator.
That is so
Hay
cool.
House, I'm still working on that.
Yeah.
I've been cultivating that for a good, well, if it's all the way back to Dr. Dyer, which I didn't know I was even writing a book at that point. He actually convinced me to put a book down, but
Wow.
so I've been working on it for about 4 years. They hold two manuscripts of mine right now. So, and
That's
I get to
awesome.
do even more so. I get to do all the speaking engagements with them. So I'm
Yay.
working with Joe Dispenza and Greg Braden and
Oh, I
Ryan
love
Weiss
them.
and James Von Prague and Sonia Chiquette and so many people.
That is so cool. That's some of my favorite people.
Yeah,
Again.
it's amazing. And we were, you and I were talking before, Katina. It
Mhm.
really is about the 5 or 10 people you have in your circle, the closest to you. You know.
Yeah.
Um, and that's what I love. Like, that keeps my vibration high. It keeps me reaching further. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So not only am I in the now, but I'm also, gratefully looking towards the future about what I could manifest. So it gives me goals and dreams. You know. So
Yes.
every time I do, I actually, to this point, and it's actually a really good time because we're getting ready to have a new moon,
Okay.
um, when we're recording this. But I do all my manifestation around the lunar cycle.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I do a new vision board every single new moon,
Wow.
and I do a purging every single full moon. So I'll take stock in anything that didn't or no longer is serving me. I get rid of it the full moon. Like you know what I mean? I write it down. I'm like, I thank it
Wow.
for its service, and I let it go.
I
And
like
then
that.
the new
I like that
moon,
a
yeah,
lot.
yeah, I do
Wow.
it every month.
I'm
So
gonna
12
start
times
doing
a
that.
year.
Love
Yeah,
it.
12
I
times a
love
year
it.
I do it. On the new moon, I do a ceremony. If the weather's good, I do it out in the, in the basking in the new moon. Um,
Wow. That's cool.
but to me, that helps because it keeps the momentum high. It's not
Yes.
something you set at the beginning of the year and you're always checking on it. You know what I mean? It's something you can redo all the time.
That is
I
so
run a
awesome.
I run a group. I'm one of 7 uh, facilitators for a group called the Consciousness Creators, on
I love that
Facebook.
group. I love it.
Yeah, it's
I love it.
and that's what I preach to them all the time. Like literally, as soon as you discover something that's not serving you, just get rid of it. You know what I mean?
Right? Let it go. Don't let it
Let it
linger.
go. Let it go immediately before it has a chance to seed in.
Right.
You can
Doesn't that
always
make
bring it
sense?
back at a better time. So even if it's a good thing, you let go of it, and you're like, man, I wish I hadn't. Just put it back in.
Put it
It's
back
okay.
in. There you go.
You know what I mean? Like people get so dead set on certain things, and they're so scared of change that they
Right.
really hamstring themselves.
I get that. Wow. So fascinating. What
But
about
yeah,
some?
so all of that stuff. I mean, cars, relationships,
Wow.
business things, yeah, trips. We talked before. I put on my vision board that I want to travel at least once every single month. And all last year, I traveled. I traveled. I had 12 trips last year.
Don't you love it?
And this year is
Universe
set
is
up
like, here
again
you
for
go. Where you
over
want to go now?
exactly 12 to 14 trips is already set up for this year. Ready to
That
go.
is what's up right there. I got that on my vision board. That is so
Yeah.
cool. I love it.
Yeah.
So, fun things that you've manifested. Like fun, fun, fun. Like, what are they?
Like
Toys or anything tangible? Like, be nice to have this. Like a car or anything
that
like
I would
that.
like to manifest now. Like what?
No, what if you already manifested like they were fun?
Well, one thing that I have on my vision board going forward for this coming new moon is I've decided I want to go on an Abraham cruise. So that's one I'm going to start right now. So we
That's
can
what's
check
up.
back in the year and see if I made my Abraham cruise manifestation or not. My
That's
first time
awesome.
putting it on there, so we'll see.
Dang, that's on
I
my
have no
vision board
doubt I
too.
will, but
That is what's up. That is so cool. So, like,
yeah.
what have you manifested your dream car? Have you manifested your what kind of car have you like fallen in love with and like, wham, here it is.
Well, right now, the car I'm driving right now is 2019 Infinity.
Yay!
Um, like I saw it and fell in love with it, and I'm like, I'm gonna have that car. And 3 months later, I signed the papers for it. So
Don't you love it?
I love it. I do. I really do love it. So
That is
um,
so fun.
the funny thing is, I travel so much. Like I've never wanted like a big house or something, but that's
Hmm.
something that's starting to come into my experience. So I may like do that. Like literally right now, I'm happy like living hotel to hotel.
Uh huh.
Which is pretty much what I do.
Yeah, like
Um,
Esther Hicks with the
Basically,
workshop.
exactly. Except she does have 3 properties that she can like,
Oh, right,
you know.
right.
So I would like to get in Esther Hicks type of type of vibe. I'll take a
Hmm.
place in Sedona and a place on
Right.
the East Coast and a place on the West
Yeah,
Coast. Sounds good.
that would be fun, right?
Wouldn't that be nice? As she
It
would say.
would. And that's what I'm learning with this manifesting because it is a journey. I am a master manifester as well at some level.
Hmm.
And what I've learned, and especially like this year, things are really speeding up for me. I'll think about it,
Yes.
put my intention out there, and bam, is there. And it's like,
Yes.
wow, that was easy. That was easy. That was fun. Like I
Yes.
manifested an unexpected check this year, unexpected deposit into my account. It was just like, wow, that was fun. I just
Absolutely.
thought about it. It just showed up. Like,
Yes. And I'm telling
but
you, your momentum will keep rising. You know what I mean? Depending on who you put yourself around. When you
yes,
when you see other people doing it, like I love that that's a focus of yours, because that's only going to help you and everybody else that's listening. Because when you see it and you see what's possible, that helps that knowing of your own knowing. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because your subconscious mind then has like all these things that's starting to add up. Like, well, that is possible. That is possible. There's no reason I can't do it. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
once you can convince your subconscious mind, then you don't have to worry about getting out of your own way, because your mind will help you.
It
But it's,
will.
you know what I mean? But it's the problem is in the beginning, when you've got all these negative programs,
Right.
um, you know, you have
Delete,
to work
delete.
super hard for money. You can't make a certain amount. You can't, you know what I mean? Like people like me from where I grew up don't do those things. You know what I mean?
Right,
There's
right,
so much stuff
right,
to overcome. You know
right.
what I mean? But when you can do that, and that's what I meant about the 4D to 5D, um, because 4D is collapsing timelines. So
Mhm.
that's realizing that everything is going on at the same time, and there is only the present. There's only the here and now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the step after 3D. So 3D works on our five senses.
Mhm.
I mean, I know you know this, but just for some listeners that
Yeah,
may
go
not.
ahead. Go for it.
So everything in this earthly realm works in three dimensions. Okay,
Mhm.
and we test those out by some. We call it real if at least one of our five senses can pick it up. It's
Okay,
real to
yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what metaphysics has proven is that absolutely nothing is real. Everything is only energy and vibration, actually.
Mhm.
So really, that's a 4D, a 5D concept, because it's hard for us. We think we're sitting on a seat, we're wearing clothes. All that stuff feels
Right.
real, whatever
Right.
real means. Okay,
Projection,
but
right?
it's triggering one of our five senses. We can
Right.
smell it, taste it, feel it, touch it, hear it.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, 4D is the collapsing of the timelines, realizing that all of these things are going on at the same time, actually, and we're literally just jumping between realities based
Mhm.
on our intentions. What do we want to happen? What do we expect to happen?
Mhm.
And we can jump, okay? 5D is a step further, even back from that. And I know you do a lot of metaphysics on your channel too, so your listeners will be familiar with it. So 5D is literally the observer. So
Mhm.
it's the fact realizing that you are a higher self.
Mhm.
This body on this 3D planet is what we call an avatar.
Avatar. Mhm.
So literally, and this is the thing. I just had this conversation at a youth conference. This is why the young people get it more than people our age and older. Like the older
Mhm.
folks don't get it at all, and they don't care to.
Like
People
really, they're
are,
really in another paradigm. They're just like
they
way
are, but you know why? Because they grew up on first person video games.
right.
They know about
Yeah, and before
avatars.
that.
They know about being a different person and controlling something. You know what I'm saying? Feeling the feelings of it and then being able to step back out of it again.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So they grew up from day one. And that's exactly what we're doing. So once you realize that this earthly existence, this body, none of that is you. And just like a video game, you can go and you can upgrade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can go and upgrade your reality, get all the ammo you want.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can,
Upgrade.
all the lives you want, everything.
Right.
You can do,
Right.
and that's the 5D process is just thinking about that. So,
Yeah.
um,
Once you
so
master that mindset, you are hitting the ground running.
exactly, and that is my thing. Mindset is everything. So, I'm in this 3D lifetime. Like literally, it's all about our mindset because, like you said, once you master that, if you can master your own mindset, you can
Yeah.
master everything. You can have anything you want,
You can.
anything at all.
Like literally, when The Secret came out, that's how I learned about the law of attraction and that
Hmm.
we do create our own reality back in 2006.
Right.
And she talked about that, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Yeah, and
Absolutely.
I love. I'm actually secretly low key. I'm on a mission to meet all the people in The Secret. So
That's what's up. That's what's up. You know, that's one of my dreams too, is to be able to do that.
yeah. So I'm on it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
there's a couple. I still have a couple yet to meet, but I will. I'm going to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That,
get all their wisdom.
and it would be cool to work with them too on some level as well. You know, all things
Yeah,
are possible when you believe. So
absolutely.
we can have what we want, you know, just like Rhonda Byrne was saying.
Yep.
Universe,
Absolutely. So I mean,
yeah,
just
the
to
universe
that
is
note,
literally like a genie. It's like your wish is my command.
yeah. And the funny thing is, you're your genie
You,
actually.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? So it's really my wish is my command.
My
When
wish
you
is
step
my
out of 3D, you
command.
realize that's you and your higher self that's even
I
doing
love
it.
it.
You
I
know.
love that. I love it. I love it. Thanks for reminding
So it's
me. We're just here to have fun, right? It's all
exactly.
an
We're
experience.
here to have fun. I explain it like in one of my groups or one of my talks. I explain it like going to a theme park.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like
Literally,
a
Earth is
movie.
like a theme park for us. It's you can have fun, or you can talk. You can sit there and talk about how hot it is and the long
Complain
lines
and
at the bathroom, or you can, you know what I mean?
right.
Like literally, it's like you create your own experience. It's the fun is there for the having. You know?
It is. It's once you tap into that, absolutely, and learn how to raise your vibration and control your mindset and get rid of
Yes.
that fear and doubt, absolutely. It's like
Yep.
whatever you
All right.
want.
I have a secret technique. Should I share it with
Yes,
your audience?
yes,
All
please.
right. So this technique is actually part of my program. So this is usually like $1,000 thing. This and it's like the biggest piece of it. But I
Hmm.
think I think your folks would enjoy it. And it's um. So here's how you do it.
Okay,
This is the secret to manifestation, in my opinion. This is how I do it. I'll say
okay.
that because I think everyone has different ways. So on top of intention, you know what I mean. We already talked about you have to intend it first. Then you
Hmm.
have to absolutely believe that you can get it.
Hmm.
Okay, so on top of that, obviously, as we were talking about, you do come across things where it'll bring your vibration down and it may bring some doubt or fear into your life. Okay, we all have triggers, we all have past
Right.
things. So here's the key. Okay, in my opinion, this is what I
Hmm.
do. The first thing you do is figure out what you want and the feeling of it. Okay.
Hmm.
So realizing that thoughts become things, but the process of that is thoughts become feelings, feelings become emotion, which is energy and emotion,
Hmm.
energy, motion. That's the broadcast signal. Okay. So
Mm.
that's where
Yeah.
we put out. So it's thoughts, feelings, and then when you mix that with your heart set, and the Heart Math Institute has proven this.
Wow.
That's where the vibration comes from. Okay.
Wow.
So knowing that, here's what you do. You come up with what you want exactly to the T. So say it's $10,000.
Hmm.
You have to figure out the feeling of that up front. So right
Hmm.
now you need to, like at this very second, you need to think about everything that 10,000 would buy and
Hmm.
how that would make you feel. So and make sure it's something that's deeply, you know what I mean. So if you're helping your kids or if you're helping your parents with that money,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like make sure it's something that's really deep to you. Okay, once you've got that feeling where it makes your heart flutter because it feels so good that you're going to be able to help yourself, your family,
Yeah.
the world. Once you've got that, you've got it. And here's what you do. Every single time a negative thought, a doubt, or anything comes into your mind, boom, in the here and now, you think of that.
Hmm.
Okay, and you put a mantra to it. So if it's if you want to get $10,000, than literally something like I am prosperous. You know what I mean? Or prosperity is mine.
Yeah.
Something that evokes that picture, you have to visualize it, you have to feel the feeling, and you say the words at the same time, even if it's only in your mind. But you have to do it at the second before that negativity has a chance to seed itself.
Got it. That makes
And if
a
you
lot
do
of
that, I
sense.
guarantee you that less than 21 days of doing that, and you'll completely change your mindset, and you will manifest whatever it is whatever you picked. But the key is you have to focus on one thing. You know, I feel like a lot of times people try to manifest a bunch of things in their lives at the same time. They're like, well,
Mhm.
I want good health, I want wealth, I want this, I
Mhm.
want that,
Mhm.
and the problem with that is you can't ever get enough focus to make it happen.
I get that.
You see what I'm saying?
Because
You
there's so
know,
many things we want.
right? There is, and you can have it all, but you just can't have it all at the exact same time.
Right. I mean, it can start coming in at the same time if you've given energy to it, but you're saying focus on one thing at a time. And when you focus on that one
Yes,
thing, you start getting building the momentum, and then stuff just starts.
absolutely. There is a whole ton of um, research and science, even taking the spirituality out of it. In Eastern philosophy, they call it flow, and it's
Mhm.
flow follows focus. Period. Like that's the
I love
golden rule
that.
of
I
flow.
love that.
Flow follows focus. So, and it's the exact same thing. Like literally, it's about the focus, and it's because that's the energy in motion. And if you distort that energy in too many different ways, you never have enough power to ask strongly enough to get it back. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
if you believe in like Abraham Hicks and source energy and all of that,
Mhm.
um, it's she calls it clarity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If you don't have clarity, you don't have focus. So if you're asking for 1,000 things, the universe is like, well, what do you want? You know what I mean? How can I pull together cooperative components? And it will start the process. But as soon as you start asking for something else, then it's going to move over to that.
To
You know what I
that.
mean?
I get that. Right.
You know what I'm
You're
saying?
just
So you can
following your
totally,
vibration. It's mirroring back. Universe is our mirror. It's
yes,
mirroring back to you what you're focused upon.
absolutely.
So if you start focusing and then you change it, you're like, okay, well, we're not going to focus on that, and we're going to focus on this over here.
Exactly right. You know, and Esther even tells that story. You know, going to the restaurant and ordering the soup, and then about halfway through, be like, I don't want the soup. I'll take the spaghetti.
Right?
You know what I mean? And then
Right?
about 10 minutes later, you're like, you know what? I'll take the fish and chips instead. And like literally, you're sitting there for 30 minutes, and now you've got nothing. And
Right?
you know what I mean? And everybody's like, they're happy to get you whatever you want. It's just going to take time. You're slowing down your own manifestation because you can't decide what you want. You can't focus. You
Yeah,
know.
I get it. I do get it.
So to me, that's the key. That's how I manifest everything. Is I literally, even though I'll have a vision board that has a lot of stuff, I'll focus on one
One
thing
thing
for
at
that
a time.
manifestation technique. And so anytime something negative comes up, I'll put that in there. And once that comes into my life, then I can move on to another main focus. You know.
I love it. And another way to raise your vibration is to say affirmations over and over, which helps
Absolutely.
which also helps to manifest because you're speaking it.
Exactly.
Every word you speak is an affirmation,
Every
positive or
word you speak.
negative.
Yes. Absolutely. Um, and like I said, the way you give it more power though is by feeling it. So even though words and thoughts do create,
Mhm.
you create bigger and faster by putting emotion to it. You
Yes.
know what I mean? So it's about the feeling. But you're right, affirmations, mantras, those type of things. I work with those all the time too. Once again, that's to trick the 3D mind though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you can get past the 3D mind, or even better yet, get it on your side,
I love
you know what I
that.
mean? You don't have to do that. So
I
I
love
try
that.
to get it on my side, but I do have mantras. I mean, I think you've probably tuned in. I have one that's gone kind of viral. It's I'm grateful for the knowledge of the God within. Divine abundance flows to me easily.
I love that.
So that got picked up by Jake Ducey and by John Osseroff from The Secret. So
Mhm.
now it's kind of gone viral. There's like 170,000 downloads on that. So
Dang.
So, but I put it into a little song format too. So it's like, I'm grateful for the knowledge of the God within divine abundance. It flows to me easily. And it's like,
Ooh.
so it's so calm and like smooth that people like it. People love that. So
Oh man. Can you send that to me?
yeah, sure. I'll send you.
I love that.
Yeah. Maybe
Okay,
you can even post it up for your people if you want. Like, I
I
don't mind that.
would. I would love that. Well,
Cool.
this has been fun, Tony. This has been, I mean, we can go on forever. Is there any other? We have to do another show.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.
Any last thoughts? Anything else you want to share before
Um,
we part?
well, like I said, I'm doing a lot of workshops and stuff. So when you see me,
Vegas. You want to
I'll
talk
be
about
in
Vegas?
I'll be in LA. Well, I'll be in Baltimore next. Then I'll be in LA. Then I'll be in Portland. We're
Dang.
going to London. We're going to Ireland. We're going to Portugal. All over. Hopefully, maybe we'll go into Detroit with Katina Love. You never know.
Right?
Um,
Not
lots
far
of
from
stuff.
Detroit, just an hour away.
Absolutely. But you can find all that out. My website is TonyDoyleInspires.com, and you can find inspirational products as well as all that, my coaching programs, the downloads for my music and things like that that I'm working on, and pretty much everything Tony Doyle Inspires is all on that one spot.
I love it, Tony. That is awesome. This has been great. Thank you for coming on and sharing all your knowledge, your wisdom, experience.
No problem. Thanks for having me back.
You are so welcome. And thank you so much for tuning in to Awakening with Katina Love. Namaste.